Ro, good morning.
Bangers.
Good morning. I like that, baby. Who you say made that? I need me one of them.
Cordell, man.
Cordell.
Cordell, where you at, baby? I need one of them, baby.
Let's get it.
In studio this morning. Ro, good morning.
Bangers.
Good morning. I like that, baby. Who you say made that? I need me one of them.
Cordell, man.
Cordell.
Cordell, where you at, baby? I need one of them, baby.
Let's get it. OG, I got you. Yeah. OG, I got you. Let's get it, let's go. Let's get it, let's go. Let's get it, let's go. Step inside the booth, it's time to get it cracking. Tag me in the comments, they said please get active. Jump in the game like Iverson, like I don't need to practice. Leave them all on 12 Island if they want that action. I know that I'm a dog, it's nothing you can tell me. Got me tripping out just like a carousel. Cordell enter in the chat, I'ma make it feel me. Now it's time to kick him out just like they Brian Kelly. Yeah, from an era that's tough. All the talking in the rings, it isn't enough. Got one lock like DBU, but I'm keeping it shut. I'm like Derek Curio when it's time to be clutch. Yeah, I'm up in the scope. Feel no mercy for the odds, not keeping it close. I go hard in the paint like Shaq in the post. Boots on the ground, they gon' step when I tell them to go. Now I'm in my zone, I done found my space. I've been down fourth alone, I had to make a way. Told them everything is green when you want the fade. I'm like Kevin fucking 96, I'ma have my way. It's a marathon, I'ma run my race. Come off the block just like a Lennon, I'ma make a pay. Man, I always been a winner, I know what it takes. Wake up every morning, number one, so what you trying to chase? Recruiting all the hitters like I'm Jay Johnson. Walk in the room like Frank Wilson, you know they coming. I been ballin' off a wings, dog, it ain't nothing. Every time they call on me, I'ma get them jumping. Recruiting all the hitters like I'm Jay Johnson. Walk in the room like Frank Wilson, you know they coming. I been ballin' off a wings, dog, it ain't nothing. Every time I fade, I'm like Kevin fucking 96, I'ma have my way. It's a marathon, I'ma run my race.
I like that.
Come off the block just like. Let's get it, let's go. Let's get it, let's go. Let's get it, let's go. Step inside the booth, it's time to get it cracking. Tag me in the comments, they said please get active. Jump in the game like Iverson, like I don't need to practice. Leave them all on 12 Island if they want that action. I know that I'm a dog, it's nothing you can tell me. Got me tripping out just like a carousel. Cordell enter in the chat, I'ma make it feel me. Now it's time to kick him out just like they Brian Kelly. Yeah, from an era that's tough. All the talking in the rings, it isn't enough. Got one lock like DBU, but I'm keeping it shut. I'm like Derek Curio when it's time to be clutch. Yeah, I'm up in the scope. Feel no mercy for the odds, not keeping it close. I go hard in the paint like Shaq in the post. Boots on the ground, they gon' step when I tell them to go. Now I'm in my zone, I done found my space. I've been down fourth alone, I had to make a way. Told them everything is green when you want the fade. I'm like Kevin fucking 96, I'ma have my way. It's a marathon, I'ma run my race. Come off the block just like a Lennon, I'ma make a pay. Man, I always been a winner, I know what it takes. Wake up every morning, number one, so what you trying to chase? Recruiting all the hitters like I'm Jay Johnson. Walk in the room like Frank Wilson, you know they coming. I been ballin' off a wings, dog, it ain't
Right, welcome in here as we are live from Pizza Byron's right here in Perkins Road. Keep the energy up.
I'm standing up.
We are live from Pizza Byron's here in Perkins Road, right off of Perkins Road, here in Willow Grove, and we are joined by everyone's favorite LSU quarterback, Rohan Davey. Ro, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good, man. How you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing good. It's been a fun week, a busy week around Baton Rouge as Lane Kiffin has his first week as the LSU head football coach behind him. What were your thoughts and takeaways from the first week?
Well, he hit the ground running, that's for sure. Right?
Finally somebody does.
So, that's what we're used to. Secure. Well, that is what we're used to. We're just not used to it. No, I'm not even gonna
Dignify that man.
And also not, we had a Coach Nick Saban, we had a Les Miles, we had a Coach Orgeron that I'm not going to throw those guys in the same class as this guy. We missed on it, and that's it. You know what I mean? But we're used to what Lane Kiffin has come in and done. We saw it with all the guys that came in previous to him, that they came in, they hit the ground running, they found they sought off the recruits, they went after them, they took care of their business. He has 90% of his staff basically already hired. He secured and also had some guys come on over through the early signing period. So I think thus far, they always do the presidency, what they do the president's first 90 days or some shit like that, like with the president.
Right.
And he's a
Pardon him, and you can pardon him.
And every day that he's in power is a damn fail, in my opinion. But when we talk about what Lane Kiffin has done in his early tenure at LSU this week, as you pointed out, I think he's done a really, really good job of hitting the ground running, not wasting any time, even getting in a couple yoga classes and getting familiar with the community, though. That's also part of getting familiar with the community. And I think he's done a good job, man. We've seen some recruits flip to come on board with him.
And retaining what you got, like what you had on board. Like, obviously, you saw the meeting you had with Lamar whenever he showed up. You had the number one player in the country, number one composite player in the country, who was on your doorstep. And then there was a bit of contention going around of, like, who's going to coach him? Why? I'm going to pull my letter and see what's going to happen next. And then
go get one of the best in the country.
Or keep one of the best in the country.
Yeah. But as far as, like, you go out and get your staff that you've put together. I mean, you go out and get one of the best D-line coaches in the country. You pull him back formerly at Texas A&M, but now here. You solidify that part about it. Now you're just looking to go out and get you a special teams coach. What I've been waiting to see all week, and I'm over the moon excited about, is the retention of the one Blake. So was able to get him, keep Kevin Peoples as your edge coach, retain Corey Raymond. I've heard this Frank won't be back, but I'm still waiting. I'm still holding out a little faith of a mustard seed that something changes there and he's able to
grow to
somehow,
a mustard tree.
Yeah, but from what I'm hearing and understanding, that most likely is not likely. When somebody comes in, man, and you ask him to cook the whole dinner, you got to make sure he can buy his own ingredients and do what he wants to do. So, I respect that part of it.
No, and I think it's worked out kind of. If you were to ask, outside of Frank Wilson, how would you want this to play out? You would say, really? You go hire Lane Kiffin, what's already been done on the LSU defensive staff and the way they built that the last 2 years was like, well, just leave that as is. We know that works. Just bring in a whole new offensive staff with Lane Kiffin. But it was like, how likely is that really?
Oh, it
ended up being what happened, right? It ended up being what was happening as Lane Kiffin brings Charlie Weiss Jr. as OC, Joe Cox as tight ends coach and co-OC. They bring in Eric Wolford from Kentucky as offensive line coach to take over for Brad Davis. Dane Stevens as QB coach, George McDonald, passing game coordinator and wide receivers coach, and Sawyer Jordan as inside wide receivers coach. And then on the defensive side, they retain Blake Baker, which keeps Kevin Peoples as your edge coach, Corey Raymond as your secondary coach, the corners, Jake Olson as your safeties coach, and then adding Elijah Robinson as the defensive line coach.
It's a big ad. That's a good Elijah,
which is huge.
Good coach. He's a very good coach. He was an interim coach at A&M when Jimbo got relieved, and I've had the opportunity plenty of times from visiting A&M to be able to, pick Elijah in here. He's a really, really good coach and very, very energetic. He's going to have that D-line really, really well.
And he has a relationship with some guys that are already on the roster.
Yeah.
Gabe Relaford, right? Yeah. LSU flipped him from Texas A&M. Don McKinley, LSU flipped him from Texas A&M. So some of the in-state Louisiana guys he does have a relationship with, and his recruiting track record speaks for itself as well. And I think when it comes to Kyle Williams, I think his time at LSU, he stepped up when LSU needed it. They didn't have a D-line coach because Bo Davis takes the Saints job. I think catches some people by surprise when that announcement came out. Kyle Williams answers the call, stepped up, did a very good job in year one, but this wasn't his goal. He didn't want to be a defensive line coach, but out of respect for Mother University and LSU, he stepped up and did a great job. But
white people in golf.
He misses his golf.
Yeah.
He misses the freedom that comes with putting in 15 years in
the
league,
NFL.
right? I have, I've built up a nest egg that I can enjoy.
I got kids.
And he was the DC.
Not me.
DC.
You don't need no kids, Lloyd.
He was the DC at Ruston.
So
Stepped away
long,
from
if
that.
I ever hear that you had
Lord have
kids
mercy.
in the next,
15.
yeah, we're gonna have. I'm gonna whip your ass.
Oh no.
But like we said, so far success for Lane Kiffin. Kept that recruiting class together, put together that defensive staff, keeping it here in Baton Rouge, but putting together a class of Lamar Brown, Richard Anderson, Deuce Geralds, Trenton Henderson, your top 4 signees. 5-star, 5-star, 4-star, 4-star. Defensive tackle, or defensive end,
Most 4 and
defensive tackle,
5 stars
defensive
he's
tackle.
signed in his life
That's why he comes
as
out
a head coach. You know,
And it's in the
but
trenches on the defensive line.
I mean, it's
Where's
very,
football one?
it's very important there. Who he coach under to learn that and to
Right.
understand that? The great Nick Saban. What I'm interested to see going with the class, he's always, last 4 years, he's been the portal king.
Right.
And so it'll be very interesting for me to watch what he targets and goes after, because it lets me know what he feels we're deficient in, offensively, defensively, especially offensively though. And what I'm after this, the next wave of things that I'm interested to see is just at the quarterback position, what happens there.
Yeah.
Right? Does a Chambers get this extension, and does he come over? Does a Simpson come over? Does a Van Buren transfer? Like, it's all those little things that I'm waiting to see now because, you know, listen, bro, the way college football is now, and with this being a business and with these guys being basically pro athletes now, a lot of moving parts start early.
Yeah.
And with this, you'll see guys, if things are being done, you'll see guys sitting out of bowl games. You'll see guys sitting out, period, waiting on the next transaction.
You could have Notre Dame just say we ain't going.
They just did,
And
but
that's
they're
the-
just butthurt.
With the third school I've seen recently, Kansas State opted out, Iowa State opted out of bowl games, and now Notre Dame, who was a 10-2 team, didn't get in the CFP, pulls their name out of the bowl game.
The thing,
You know what? I wonder, did they do that, and did they talk to the players about that?
You would hope so, right?
I would hope so. I mean, hell, they're the ones that's gonna,
Playing.
yeah, and they're the ones that's value this. They're
Right.
the ones that's butthurt the most out of anybody. But at the same time, okay, I'm butthurt. I didn't get in. Honestly speaking, it was a tough decision. And when it comes down to it, the criteria is for it. Now everything checks the boxes. You're 48, I'm 49. You're 35, I'm 36. Okay, well, who won when we played each other? I mean,
Right.
I understand.
That has to
It's
matter.
early in the season, middle of the season, it doesn't matter. I mean, at this point, who won? You know what I'm
Play
saying?
head-to-head.
So it's early in the season for you too.
Right, and we'll
saying?
definitely dive into that. But on your point of talking about the quarterback position, I wanted to ask from your perspective, what does it take to be a quarterback in Lane Kiffin's offense, right? When you've watched Kiffin's offense, whether it's at Alabama, at Ole Miss, what does it take to be successful at that position? What is Kiffin going to be looking for in the next LSU quarterback, just from a skill standpoint?
You have to be smart. You have to be in shape. You have to be able to get the ball out of your hands quick, meaning your mechanics have to be fluent. You have to have the ability to at least sustain drives, meaning move the ball with your feet when that presents itself. You don't have to be a Michael Vick. You
Right.
know what I mean? You don't have to be a game break. It helps. But you have to also be able to throw the intermediate ball to the deep ball in his offense. The intermediate ball, the crossing routes, you have to be able to throw the crossing routes in his system. You have to be able to read low to high and top down and vice versa, because Lane has a system the way he creates high low. He creates top down. So meaning if I got a deep route going, that's your first look, top down, deep, intermediate to shallow, or bottom up, shallow, intermediate to deep. And you have to be able to have that touch to get it over the linebackers, but in between the safeties.
Right.
Or to keep those guys coming across the field, on those climbing routes where you coming across, see green grass, no one's high, and you climbing to get to a higher depth. So, I mean, listen, and honestly speaking, now on the roster of LSU with a Van Buren, and I don't know if we have that. So, I'm very intrigued about what we're going to look like at the quarterback position in order to do those things that he likes to do.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, I said it this past week on our show. LSU's quarterback for 2026, I believe, is either is playing football somewhere else, or, on another roster. They are going to go into the transfer portal to make moves, regardless, but especially at that position.
Thank you.
This roster, and really next month specifically, when that portal window opens up, January 2nd to 16th, a 2-week span is going to be extremely important. And now I think the viewpoint of next season has shifted, right, with the retention of Blake Baker and that staff.
Yeah.
I think if it ends up being a wholesale change, you maybe get a little more leeway with what next year could look like.
Yeah.
But now, keeping that staff, keeping some of the roster on that side of the ball together, you would assume, at least the pieces you're looking for, potentially a Whit Weeks, a DJ Pickett, a Gabe Relaford, a Don McKinnon.
No doubt. So what you look to do now, if they're not already there, is replace those pieces that we may have lost if you don't feel confident in the guys that's there.
Right.
Or add depth to that side. But now what you can really do is, honestly, because you can focus on what you need offensively.
Right.
To clean that up based on what Lane's coming in and running his system.
Yes.
Because Blake, over the last 2 years, has built and have recruited for that. Now, the D-line coming in, that's going to help.
Yes.
That's going to help tremendously. So, I mean, I think, man, we're in a great position. You did say it earlier on, man, if we could retain Blake, and that would be the what we would ultimately want us to have that staff on that side that was doing well, stay, and that's exactly what we have.
And like I said, it changes the tune around next year because it's continuity, right? You're keeping that side of the ball in a set that they're going to have the same coach and potentially the same position coach when you talk about DJ Pickett and PJ Woodland sticking around because of Corey Raymond.
Correct.
You talk about Blake Baker as the defensive coordinator for guys like Whit Weeks or Don McKinley or Gabe Relaford with Coach Peoples. That, I think, changes the tune about next year, where it becomes maybe instead of like a revamp year to kind of get it underneath you.
I agree.
Now it's almost like you expect to win.
Oh, I agree.
Right?
No.
You come through, you add the pieces offensively. With what you've kept defensively, the expectations are extremely high for next year.
I'll be honest with you. I expected to win when they hired Lane.
100%.
And the reason I say that is because of how he's built through the portal the last 4 years. He's not waiting to year 2 to try to make this thing happen.
Right.
And now when you have the retention and these guys that's retained and you're keeping those corner pieces like you pointed out, now you go out if you don't feel like you have somebody to replace a Halsey, you go replace a Halsey. You see what this D-line group has coming in through OTAs and through going through the spring and everything like that, and see how now we're going to work these guys, see how much these young guys coming in on D-line, how much they can retain, how quick they can pick up the packages that we were doing and bring them into the fold, right? And then now we focus offensively. Where's the quarterback? How is he? What is he? How can I get him sped up? How can I get him up to speed on what we want to do offensively? And then I don't expect to sit back and wait to see if we win. I expect us to come out.
I'm right there with you.
Well, because you would whatever we were the Brian Kelly show that we did here at Pizza Byron's, and shout out Pizza Byron's. I see it right there.
Yeah, come on, show it off.
Give me that.
Got that cheese pool, baby.
Oh, that's YouTube gold.
Yeah.
But when you look at when we were breaking it down and wondering who LSU was going to get, it was kind of Lane or nothing. But then if it wasn't Lane, you were saying this isn't a 1 or 2 year rebuild. This is going to take 3 or 4.
Right.
And now you get the guy that can make it very quickly a turnaround, and you keep Blake Baker and you keep those pieces on the defensive side to where if
you're blocking the door to the restroom.
I know that.
There you go.
So you're what am I supposed to do?
Exactly what you did. You played it perfectly.
Love you. So you have the offensive that you made. I'm going to read some stats out right now. I know this isn't everybody's favorite thing, but it's just so jarring to see the difference. Ole Miss points per game, 36. 12th in the country. LSU points per game. Would you like to guess where they sit? Ranked out of 128.
Out of how many?
128 teams.
115.
117.
Good
So now you're marrying.
Good
Yeah. I know what I watched.
That is a guess. That was right. And folks, we didn't go over that.
No. At yards per game, Ole Miss 489 yards a game. LSU, would you like to venture what they did per
Did
game?
they even crack 300?
No.
No way. 250?
Hell no.
315.
315.
For number 118 in the country.
Out of 128.
Point bottom of the barrel.
That's where the discussion comes in when you look at what you can do into next season. That's the first thing you get with Lane Kiffin. It's a brand new offense.
Everything I just read.
Everything you just read gets solved.
That's gone everywhere he's been.
And so he's built up the cachet to say wherever you're going to get an offense. You should trust whatever he does on that side of the ball because he's proven to you time and time again that he knows how to handle it. He's done it everywhere he's been. And so when you bring in that while retaining this defensive staff, continuity on that side of the ball, the expectations should be high, right? Because you know he's going to hit the portal and bring in offensive
That's right.
pieces. I think outside of quarterback, the next most important thing on that side of the ball
O-line.
is the offensive line. They have to rebuild that room, right? Almost from scratch.
You tear it down.
Like, I mean, I think we were talking about it
To
on
the
Friday.
studs.
I don't think they all are bad.
No. But like I was saying it on Friday, I think, because Jonathan pushed back on it a little bit. I was like, no, you go get 5 guys. You're going to go get your 5, right? You go get all 5 positions, and then if the pieces you have in the room went out, you have to at least breed competition because you've at least seen that what's going on in that room right now is not up to par.
Yeah, but I don't think you go get all 5. I don't think you're going out and going to get all 5 new guys. You may go out and go get you a left and a right tackle and a center like we brought in and got injured. You got to understand, bro, the biggest piece about this thing, because you still have some of these young redshirt freshman guys that are there that you got to develop.
Thrown into the fire.
Yeah, you got to develop them. And also with the scheme that he's bringing in, that scheme is going to help those guys a lot better because their ball's coming out a lot quicker and normal than other guys. You know what I mean? So it's a big difference with that.
And to marry the two, like I was reading the stats of LSU's offense, and now so we obviously heard Ole Miss's offense, which is tops in the country, like number 11th overall. LSU's defense versus Ole Miss's offense. Let's just do points per game. LSU defense, 19 points a game, giving up 2 per lose. How we doing, buddy?
I'm having a rough day.
Oh, me too. Every Sunday is
We're
hard
all
until it's
having a
easy.
rough day.
Yeah.
I looked up all the selection committee names and phone numbers.
Oh, Notre Dame. That makes sense.
I forgot you're a Notre Dame guy.
And the Cowboys lost.
I just don't like the way that played out. You can't do what you did. You can't be ahead of everybody.
They should have never flip-flopped it the
What?
first time if
Hey.
you're going to flip-flop it back, right?
Big Lou? Big Lou. Why don't y'all get into a conference and then play a conference championship?
If LSU had a chance to have an NBC contract where they got all,
In 1984,
why would we do that? We get everything.
well, except for a playoff spot.
Y'all should have beat Miami.
It was our quarterback's first game ever. His first match.
Get a mic. We can't do dead air.
Hostile environment.
Should have beat Miami.
There should be another one down there.
It was, you know what?
I'm just
Is it
saying.
plugged in or no? It's just the cord.
Came back and tied it with 2 minutes.
I know. That mean they won on the last kick. I get it. Hold on. Break this now.
Don't get me started. I'll be fired.
No,
up.
We'll
they
get you a
won
mic.
on the
We'll get you a
last
mic. We'll
kick,
do
but
this before we're on the LSU kick right now.
Yeah.
when everything is, listen, you got to understand, it's a week-to-week thing. So even if you're ahead the previous week, you're idle, they're idle, BYU stunk it up. I get it. No.
But here's the thing. If you're going to say, I told the committee to go back and watch the Miami game again, then you got to say, go watch the Alabama-Florida State game.
We got to use the mic.
Because they were dominated in that game.
If you talk about okay.
But look, we're on. But when you look at everything else, Alabama, take them out the way because their strength of schedule and everything that they've done just it eclipsed both for you guys. Yeah, and Miami's good win was who?
Just us.
That's my point. And y'all's good win was who?
That was a good loss.
USC, Boise, who won the Mountain West. I thought Navy was a good win. Pitt was a good win. Navy was ranked when we played them. But here's the thing: we beat teams so bad they fall out of the rankings. We shouldn't.
How's it going? Yes, we're live.
in the front. Get out the way.
I'll meet him later. For sure.
But
That's a new coach?
back to the LSU football conversation.
Gotcha.
Like we said, it's been a huge week, and we were getting into the bowl game discussion. LSU is slated to face Houston in the Texas Bowl. So obviously LSU has a strong contingency in Houston. Houston has a strong contingency in Houston. It's a money play, right? You get two fan bases that are going to buy tickets to go to the football game on December 27th. As LSU will go to the Texas Bowl for the second year in a row. They also played in it in 2022. Well, I mean, it was 21-22. That was the January of 22 after O gets fired. They played in that game. And then they played in it back in, I think, 2015 against Mahomes with Leonard Fournette won the MVP of that football game. So the fourth time since 2015 in about 10 years LSU has played in the Texas Bowl, back-to-back seasons now. Is there anything, Ro, that you're looking forward to specifically in the bowl game for LSU this season, or is it just kind of a wash?
Well, it'd be interesting to see what the energy is like.
Right.
It'd be interesting to see, like, if these guys go out and they play like they're playing for, like it's an audition, right? I don't know how much Lane's gonna be involved, right? I don't know from that standpoint how much that is. I hope a lot, right? But no, I don't know. It's very, going into this with the change and everything that's going on, I just want to see, is it still the prideful, these guys have their mind, who's transferring, have they made their minds up, who's, you know what I mean? So it's peculiar.
Because there haven't been too many names up to this point from the LSU roster that have entered the portal. You've seen some offensive guys, I think Kylan Billiot, Jelani Watkins both hit the portal. Stamps, obviously, earlier in the season, red shirts is planning to hit the portal. So right now you haven't seen too much attrition from this roster.
Right.
Now, I don't know if that's a sign of much, because I do think there still will be some people, especially on the offensive side of the ball, that kind of process out when Lane starts bringing his pieces in.
Right.
But up to this point, you're going to have the majority of your roster going into that game. And so it'll be interesting to see who in that game performs up to a level and what it looks like, and maybe keeps an opportunity open for sticking around on Kiffin's roster, right?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, are you
Auditioning
for here or somewhere else? You know what I mean? Like, even when we talked about with the quarterback, man, you think about it when we were saying that your boy was going to be gone and they'll come up with an injury so he doesn't have to play the rest of the year, or aggravated injury, and now you got Van Buren comes on, and he basically has an audition to either stay here, and Lane give him some money to stay, or you could go somewhere else.
You already paid the man.
And the audition didn't go well, though. It didn't go well as far as what we were trying to do and what he wanted to do. But it absolutely did not go the way he expected it to go, because if he did, it would have performed a lot better than he did in these couple of starts that he has since Nuss has been gone. So I want to see if these guys are going to come out and play and try to win over the new coach or win over somebody else.
Because there is shades of like the first time Brian Kelly was introduced as the head coach at LSU, where it was, you have 35 people on the roster, and it was, y'all go have a good time. We're not going to take our names out the bowl game. Brian Kelly was in the booth watching the game and kind of introducing himself to the LSU faithful, and it was like, okay, this is kind of fun. You have, John Trey Kirkland, who played quarterback for the last time whenever he was in high school.
Eating? Are you not hungry?
I gotta work. This is when I work. Then I'll eat.
It's gonna be cold.
I got the oven. That tenderism. But it is shades of that, of like, you've seen what Michael Van Buren can do, and you've seen Juwan Johnson very active on Twitter being like, why not me? Like, why can't I? Like, this would be a great audition for him to be able. I know what you're thinking, but It would be fun.
Man,
Like,
listen,
why
man.
not?
Jawan has come in, has changed positions 2-3 times. At this point, it's like when you're sitting there saying something like that and you haven't been at that position and worked at that position, quarterback isn't in the position where you just say, I'm going to jump in there and let me play quarterback. You know what I mean? And I understand that he has the skill or has shown the skill set based on what he did in high school. But it's not just jumping there and say, play the position right now. It's if you're going to do this, let's train for it. Give him an opportunity. If that's what you want here, with Lane or with whoever, if that's truly where your heart is to be at a position, well, that's where you should have been at the whole time. Don't switch back from running back to this back and then ask to come back to this and do that. So I think when he puts that out and says all of that, and he should know this though, man. Like it's
I just
not,
think he sees the Lane Kiffin offense and goes, I could do that. I mean,
Yeah,
throw my
but-
hat in the ring.
I mean, yeah, but not for this game coming up. If you're talking about this for the season going on, then you go in and have a conversation with him. That's what I would suggest. If that's what you feel, if you feel you can flourish in the Lane Kiffin system, and go in and have a conversation with him and see would he look at you that way? I'm sure he's seen enough film on you.
And my question would be, obviously Frank will coach the bowl game. Lane said that in his press conference on Monday. And I'll ask you about the press conference a little bit later on. But how much influence do you think Lane would have in this, like the bowl game practice, the preparation for the bowl game, of maybe influencing some of his offense or things, or do you just kind of take hands off and let it run its course?
Well, I wouldn't think that as far as like offensively right now, but I think just far as like if he would like to see something or someone in a certain situation, I think that. But I think just as far as logistics and letting those guys finish it out, I think none at all.
How much of the press conference that Lane had on Monday did you watch? His press conference Monday, his introductory press
Introductory.
conference.
That
Yep.
was up in the south end zone?
Yes.
That one?
Yep.
I watched it.
What were your thoughts or takeaways from his press
I
conference?
thought he came in and did exactly what he should have did.
Yeah.
Said absolutely the perfect things. What he said, showed his personality when it came to meeting. I think that he did a really, really good job. I watched it until he started asking questions.
Right. And then I'll ask you, because I do think there's been a bit of content, on social media around the phrase that he made. He's been hashtagging it. It's just different, right? He said LSU at the place is just different, and that's why he's there. I think Ole Miss fans especially take, obviously, offense to it because it that's where he was last, and he left them for here. But it's the truth, right? Like, this job is different than that job. And I think when you look at why Summerall is on the Tulane sideline or why Eric Morris is on the North Texas sideline, it's because it's viewed taking the Florida job from Tulane is a job promotion. I think people have created this idea in their mind that it's not a promotion going from Ole Miss to LSU just because it's in the
Ole
same
Miss
conference.
people.
Right, but it is. Like, it is. It's a job
Just Ole
promotion.
Miss people.
Right.
Lane's one of his first tweets was that of either, I think it was of was it a trophy, right?
Yeah,
it
he
was a
took
Heisman
pictures
trophy, right?
The Heisman's and
With the
the
national champion in the
championship
background,
We had
right?
3 Heismans in the national championship. I ain't never seen
That
these
alone,
before.
that alone
Shows
says a
you.
lot. Unless you know when he's talking about it's just different. It is just different. Nationally, Ole Miss and LSU are different. They're not regarded the same. I'm sorry. Our job, LSU job that was recently open, was regarded as the best job in America at the time. There's a reason for that. Brand. The brand is the brand, and our brand stands alone. Definitely does not compare to Ole Miss. They don't compare to our brand. So if you're a coach and you've been there and built that and haven't been able to go out and recruit top high school talent out of high school, you haven't been able to get 4 stars and 5 stars to commit and come to Oxford, Mississippi to play football. But you've done great throughout the transfer portal. You won first 11 games, first time in your school history. You're in the college football playoff for the first time in your school's history. And it was hard. You didn't have any money. right?
You got as much as you
It's
could
hard.
get, and then you have to go back. And if you're Lane, you go, I gotta go.
Lemon out of a dry lemon.
I'm
right?
using the seeds.
Right. And now you come to a place to where,
We got plenty of trees.
and your brand recognition into these kids, into what you ultimately, how you recruit and how you are on social media, how you are with these youngster kids, how you get it. You're at LSU now. It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier, buddy.
It's almost like, just don't fuck it up.
It's a lot easier.
Just don't fuck it up.
And he isn't.
No, that's what I'm saying. But like I think he saw that, and like I said, whenever you show up for the first day, the first night of your job, there's people lining the streets for you. After you go from getting motherfucked all the way out to, oh, these people love me. He's like, I haven't even done anything. It's like, but here's the #1 recruit in the country right at your doorstep. It's like, oh, I think I made the right call. Like, and I talked to a Nick Saban. I talked to a Pete Carroll. It's like, buddy, what you did at Ole Miss is all you can do.
Right.
And now, whether they forced you out and you weren't allowed to see it all the way through, that's on them. You see Summerall coaching at Tulane. You saw Eric Morris coaching at North Texas. You see it all around the country. The only team that didn't do it was Ole Miss. Like, you didn't give me the opportunity to finish this thing out. So, all right, good. I'm cool with leaving then. Y'all forced me out. And now you're going to come ask me for my protege? All right, I'll throw you a bone. Like, Lane comes out of this looking great.
Oh, listen, man, the fact that Ole Miss decided to not let him coach, I would have loved to see him coach, honestly, to see what kind of run they could have went on, because I think they got a really good draw for the first round, and then possibly facing a team that you faced already in the second round and took to the wire.
Right, played really well against.
You know what I mean? So, but I think that now when you pull him out of the equation, even with Charlie Weiss being there,
It ain't the same.
it's not even remotely close. Because it's still not that flair. It's still not that knowledge and that timely calling. It's still not the decision-making of that set head coach as Lane Kiffin was to them. He's involved with every facet that goes on offensively and with that program. So when you pull that out, it says a lot. It does a lot for those guys. The confidence is now not there in the same way. You know what I mean? So,
Like, I trust his 3rd and 4 play. Instead of, like, I don't know, like, the fact that he let Charlie go is, like, to go back, I didn't know what they were going to do offensively. I had no idea who was going to call.
I mean,
Joe Judge?
Yeah, this gave Ole Miss hope, right?
Right,
Getting
and
a play caller back.
But if we're going to give LSU, like, cast aspersions to LSU of how they've mismanaged things in the past, you have to give them credit for this.
Look, I take my hats off to Ole Miss for standing their ground. Because them being stubborn and ego standing their ground accelerated our process here.
Yes.
It accelerated us having the staff in place. It accelerated us having Lane here already hit the ground running and doing what he's done already. So
Yeah, it's led to this successful first week.
damn right.
And that's what I was going to ask
Right.
is, if this isn't the way that it played out, what are the chances Blake Baker comes back?
It'd be a completely different conversation.
Because I'm not having the conversation with the head coach. I'm not being able to marry our ideas of your offense, my defense, and like those conversations aren't available. So Ole Miss shot themselves in the foot 2 times by saying, okay, go. And then it's, well, now I get to talk to Blake Baker, who very much was the best candidate on the board for Tulane. Now they don't have a coach. And if you weren't able to have that conversation, if Lane's still at Ole Miss, you don't be able to get in the same building and be able to hash it out and be like, this is what we're going to do offensively. This is what you're going to do defensively. And now it becomes fun. Like, oh, I see the vision.
The process is a lot more difficult if he's coaching, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say
It's easier
thank
to
you.
leave.
No doubt. The process is a lot easier for everybody else. And the process is easier for guys to leave, right? The guys that put their name in the hat to get out of here. So I'm just happy that
They played it the way
their
they
decision.
did.
Oh, no doubt.
And credit to Verge and the way that LSU handled this process. I mean,
Comfortable.
How many times have we said that LSU identified their guy and they went and got him and got it done? And then it's rolled into the success it's been after 1 week. I wanted to ask you, Ro, obviously, the relationship you have with Coach Saban. Lane talked about it in his press conference, but didn't go into detail about what Coach Saban said, because he was like, oh, well, Coach Saban's coached somewhere else, the SEC, so I can't tell you exactly what he said about LSU. if I were to ask you and you were to just assume what Coach Saban said when Lane said, "Hey, Coach, what do you think about the LSU job? How big of a jump is it for me from Ole Miss?" What do you think Coach Saban's response was when he answered that question?
This is the well that you've been waiting on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is the epicenter of college football. If I wasn't too old and I didn't want to deal with this NIL portal shit, I'd be taking it over you. You wouldn't even be in consideration.
Because they called me too.
That's what he told him. That's what he told him, dog. Like, this is one of the best jobs in America. You're going to have the backing and the support of everybody there. You know, that place rocks at night.
Which he's been clamoring for.
That's what I'm telling you. Like, it's not even close to anywhere else that he's ever played, built, including the Raiders, including USC, including Tennessee. Nowhere is comparable to where you are going to go and to what Tiger Stadium and what the LSU faithful are going to do for you. And if you stay there and you succeed and win a national championship, 2 national championships, you're going to be God.
Right. Well, and it's also from Nick's perspective, he's sitting there saying, like, look, I laid the blueprint down. This is what I started, right? And he never got the chance to really finish it, right? Because he takes the leap into the NFL and then comes back to college and does it somewhere else. But I mean, he's looking at Lane like,
you're doing the inverse of me.
You're doing what I
Lane
wish
started
I could have
in the
done,
NFL.
Right?
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's right.
So he's looking at it being like, look, Lane, I started this. You know my process. You know how I operate. You know how to do this now. You've grown. You've matured. Go run it.
And you know what? Looking at it from Coach Saban's perspective as well, you're younger, right?
Yeah, he was 52, Lane's 50.
You're younger. And now it's like, I can't go back. I wish I could.
Right.
I didn't want to go through all that bullshit. But you're perfect for it. You're perfect to go back right now. You understand the landscape of the SEC. You understand the landscape of LSU, right? You've coached against them. You marveled against them. You understand what it's going to take there. I got your back.
And you were able to get money at Ole Miss for the portal. Imagine if they actually are going to be 10 toes down with you.
Right.
We'll spend whatever you got. Like, he's proven that he can do it at a place that's harder to. So if you give him the resources, and the funniest thing about this is it kind of feels like you're talking about Brian Kelly again, where it's like, oh, a guy that's won, but he needs LSU's resource to be able to get to the mountaintop. Right. But this feels somehow totally different.
Oh no doubt. It's almost like.
How was he the most responsible one LSU's had?
He's coming into a situation where not only do we need him, but we want him to take the mantle based on who you've coached under and the respect that we have for Coach Saban, for you to come in here. And I'm going to tell you, the relationship between Verge and Coach Saban played a huge part in this as well. You know what I mean? That played a huge part in what this getting done as well, because the endorsement from Coach Saban to Lane via a Verge.
Yeah.
Moves mountains.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
It does.
And I'll also give credit for this entirety of this process. The money people at LSU have made this not like that was the big question, right? Even when Kelly was here, was like, oh, are they going to be able to pay? No. You get that buyout. We're going to get the contract for Lane. You're going to get the NIL support. Blake
Tiger
Baker, guess
Dave.
what? You get
Big
a bump
Lou.
up.
Big Lou.
That Big Lou and Tiger Dave put up that buyout money. You and David was salute y'all for putting up that.
Plus some new shirts. I'm out of buyout. This guy around for
Well, you didn't have to buy us some bowl game shirts. I know that.
I'm proud of our decision.
Oh, yeah.
I like the decision.
And that's
Stick it to ESPN.
that's the next topic we're going to get
Stick
on.
it to the ACC for asking coaches comments about which team's better. They play both of them. What do you think the Pittsburgh coach is going to say? Notre Dame's better?
Right.
The next conversation, Ro, is those
Why's he get thrown under the bus?
those rankings came out today.
It's a lot of
Obviously,
crybabies.
there were some question marks around, especially the at-large. I think the top 4 everyone expected. That went the way everyone anticipated to go. But then in the at-large, it goes Ole Miss or Oregon at 5, Ole Miss at 6, A&M at 7. Then you have Oklahoma, Alabama at 8 and 9. At 10, you have Miami, who gets in. Tulane 11. James Madison at 12. But the majority of the conversations around Miami at 10. Notre Dame not getting in. Alabama staying put after the loss yesterday.
Look at Big Lou.
You got no more football to watch.
Look at Big Lou.
LSU's going to play the bowl game and you not.
Me and Dave are going to play one-on-one football every Saturday in his front yard. Guess who's going to win that matchup?
Who's gonna have the ice tub the next day?
We're just going to remember that game? Throw the football in the air.
Yeah, throw up tackle, kill a man with the ball.
Kill the man with the
Whatever
ball.
you call it, wherever you from.
STQ.
Wherever you from, it's called something different. Oh man, look, that's why everyone's in favor of extending this thing to 16
That's what they're
teams.
doing.
Right.
That's all. That's why everybody's in favor of expanding it. You're not gonna please everybody, i.e. Big
I
Lou.
don't need to.
right.
That's my job. Play better.
But bro, it's Notre Dame ends the season on a 10-game win streak.
Who did they lose to?
The team that got in.
They ain't beat
Two
nobody
teams that got
either, though,
in.
Lou.
2 teams that got in.
They didn't beat anybody though.
Who did Miami lose to?
They didn't beat anybody though. Listen,
Bad SMU.
y'all should have beat Miami.
First game of the year.
If you got, it doesn't matter. It's the first. It's the first. It's the first game of the year for
A&M.
everybody.
We don't play anybody, but we play Miami.
We know y'all don't play nobody.
Join the conference.
Listen, y'all should have beat Miami. I'm sorry to say it that way, cause you my boy. But
Did you see the comfort in his eyes?
I did. You are my boy, and I hate it. I wish Notre Dame should have got in. I think they're playing fantastic. You know what I mean? I really do. I think they're one of the hottest teams right now, coming down right now. But, man, I mean,
Carlisle Holiday ain't walking through that door.
And here's the thing. Everything that happened this weekend helped. Boise State won the Mountain West. They beat them by 4 touchdowns.
The problem is this. You guys were ahead of them one previous week, and then the follow, and then but that's what I'm telling you. But week to week matter. So this week you're not.
What did we do wrong?
You shouldn't have. You should have beat them.
Lost to Miami.
I'm serious. Y'all strength of schedule sucks. Y'all strength.
It's higher than Ole Miss's. What's our strength of
Don't
schedule?
even compare yourself to Ole Miss.
What's our strength of schedule?
Listen, that's what I'm saying. When you get there and you bring these up, don't compare it to an SEC team. Now we're gonna have problems there. Don't, because if that's the case, Vanderbilt should be in over y'all.
I think so.
You understand? Yeah, there we go.
I missed the comforting look.
You took one wrong turn down the street, cuz.
Hey, Lloyd, here you go, bro. My pizza's up. I'm joining.
Slide on in.
Join the committee.
No, I do, though. I do.
Join the committee.
That's why you stand there, bro.
Here's the thing. Here's my big thing. Seriously, schedules are made 4 or 5 years in advance. I can't help that Stanford's not very good right now. I can't help that.
And it's the same way you guys feel when y'all schedule 2 SEC teams and think that they're gonna be
Right.
You know what I mean? But they suck.
And the thing I'll say, you can say what you want about Arkansas. They had one game where they got blasted.
I agree. They was in everything.
Every other game
but they lost.
They did.
I agree. They were in every game.
I mean, they lost 2 overtime games
I
to
totally agree.
really good teams.
I agree.
At halftime, and Hunter Yurachek is the AD at Arkansas. He got a good look at us because it was 40-3 at halftime.
Soup to nuts.
That's right. He did.
Can I get a little more comforting?
No, I mean, listen, you guys, I wish that it was 16 so you guys can, because I really do believe that you're going to, and even if when you look at this thing, you say, okay, conference championship, so on and so forth, how confident are we that James Madison is going to even give Oregon a game?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Here's my big gripe. We're letting all these guys, and I went and looked at the College Football Playoff Committee. It's 11 guys and 1 female.
They were falling asleep during the game.
They're all age, and I looked this up today. They're all age 56 to 79.
That should help Notre Dame.
You're telling me that a 79-year-old former coach is watching games on the West Coast
I'm with you.
at 11 p.m.? Man,
with you.
save that for somebody. Put that. No. Sorry.
No,
And then the committee chairman says, let's go back and I want everybody to watch the Miami Notre Dame game again. We're a totally different team now.
right, I agree.
No, I agree with that.
Just like Florida State and Alabama are totally different teams.
I agree, but then look at when you look at the metrics of what they look, whether it's strength of schedule, whether this or that. You guys are right there. It's like what and what.
Yeah.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
our
Like
strength of schedule
48,
was
45,
42,
33,
44.
30. But it's like right
Then the
there
head-to-head
for
came
the
into
most.
play.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Then
I get it.
you factor in the head-to-head, and
Then
it's
why
like,
weren't they ahead of us the whole
it's hard.
time?
Because
fodder,
I don't
it's TV.
because I don't listen because I don't think early on that they thought, and not this is just my thoughts. This isn't what, so don't bite my head
Can I
off.
say it? Because the fix was in today.
Well, I think if the fix was in, Notre Dame would have got in. Because you guys have a bigger draw. You carry, you bring, you're going to bring your peoples. You guys are a show.
Golden Domer.
You know what I'm saying?
But we're also easy.
Listen,
we're
bro,
also easy to penalize
I
because we're not
was,
in a conference.
I'll be perfectly honest with you. I was shocked that they put Miami. I thought Miami, I had Alabama, Miami, and Notre Dame, honestly.
Those three
But
like that.
I did. But I thought that Miami was going to be out and Notre Dame was going to be in because of y'all reputation. I was shocked.
I think that's why his feelings are hurt.
And well, think about this.
We ain't who we thought we was.
At 9 o'clock this morning, when I went and looked at what the odds were,
Right.
and Vegas knows better than anybody. That's why they got those
True,
fancy
true,
lights
true,
that are on
true.
24/7.
True.
Notre Dame was tied for third choice to win the national championship.
No,
It was Ohio State, Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia, and Notre Dame were
They don't
tied
give
for
your
third.
money back if you put it on the Golden Domers to win it?
They didn't even get to go dance.
They're not going to win it.
No, they're not.
So no, they don't.
So
give
you lose.
Yeah, I didn't bet.
Big
it,
lose.
But I looked.
Big lose. He didn't bet though.
Oh.
I had them last year. Though,
no, I mean,
hard.
I think Notre Dame's team this year is
Is
better
better.
than the team they had last year. It just ended up shaking out the way it did. I think the biggest
The one that got
the enemy in all of this is it's the ACC. I mean, it's their fault. Like if they,
no doubt.
if Virginia just
No
wins,
doubt.
But
because
It's
to me,
Dabo's fault.
The reason
No
they,
doubt.
to me,
It
the
is
reason
the
they
ACC.
shifted to Miami is because
They need to
get an ACC team in.
And
if Virginia wins and gets in, James Madison's not
so
in.
you're telling
Notre
me
Dame gets
you're
in.
telling me Miami at 10-2 who lost to Louisville and SMU,
Right.
and in a conference that was won by a team with 5 losses,
Right.
deserves.
no,
They
I'm
couldn't
not-
even make the conference.
No, they didn't make the championship game. But I think when you look at it, you're like, let's get it.
And
they
I'll
wanted
say
an
this.
ACC team in.
I'll agree with you. If you put Vanderbilt and Texas up against Oklahoma and
Oh, of
Alabama right
course.
now on a neutral site,
I'm with you.
guess who I think win those 2 games?
That's what I'm saying, and that's why one of my questions was, what do you say for guys with the criteria that you've built, and y'all talking about tweaking the criteria? What does it say though for how a team's playing towards the end of the season and peak? Because honestly, the team that I know everybody talking about Indiana, Ohio State, but the team that's playing its best football right now is Georgia.
Yes.
Oh, I wouldn't disagree with that. I mean,
Well, that's
Plus-
what they're the
right
best team in the
now,
country
it's
is
hard-
right
it's
now.
They
hard-
peaking
Plus
right
700.
now.
it's hard to discount.
That's what it is?
It's hard to discount
Took 'em.
Indiana and Texas Tech.
I agree.
too.
No, I agree.
But
And I
I'm
think
with
Ohio
you.
State is in the mix as well. I do. I think Ohio State, Indiana, Texas Tech, Georgia, they're all right there.
It's going to be a fun playoff.
is.
Alabama ran for -3 yards.
Yeah,
yesterday.
well, I
And
think
then I'll be
because-
honest with you, if I know we talk about Miami getting in, but if Beck plays how he's possibly can play,
Oh yeah, they're a
Miami will
dangerous
make a
team.
run.
Yeah, no, they're dangerous.
Because they front seven.
Because that's my thing with Georgia. Like
Their
the
front seven is
the reason I'm as confident in Georgia as I am is because there's a blueprint for them to win, and they fit that. They know who they are better than anyone else.
And
in the
they're
country.
playing.
And they
Georgia's
play just
playing
like-
out their mind though.
Hair
Georgia's
on-
smacking.
I think
Yeah.
the biggest thing
Right
is
now.
That was some
the
thud.
team I disagree with being in the most is Oklahoma, especially if
agree.
they go and they lose to Alabama, because that's their one win.
I hate the fact that Ole Miss is ahead of Texas A&M also.
I agree with that as well.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They
I
shouldn't
agree
have
with
jumped
that.
them.
I agree with that.
So you're telling us four can do this better than those
I agree with that.
geriatrics?
Yeah, I mean,
You
could ask a-
I didn't want to use that term, but I did earlier on the patio.
I mean, you could ask one of the kids on the patio. They could give you a better top 12 than.
It's.
I mean, my thing
this
is,
thing
you know,
broken.
it is
broken.
because when
But
you
they want to
think,
break it so they can have more teams
if you
in.
think that if you think that like a James Madison should be in, and I understand conference champions and all that, but when we talking about the best 12, I don't think James Madison beats Vanderbilt. I don't think James Madison beats Notre Dame. I don't think James Madison. That's what I'm saying. No. So if we talking about this, it's a lot with the criteria that needs to change. It's not just, hey, conference champs are in. Well, tiebreakers needs to change. How you decipher who gets to a championship game needs to change, honestly.
And to me,
I totally agree with that.
If you go back and you look
BYU should be in.
What was the last, you look at the last, the 2023 14 playoff. What happened with that one? Oh, Florida State got left out. And then what did they do the next year?
They were undefeated.
And then they expanded.
Yeah.
And so
they lost their quarterback.
You have all these talking points around it, which is going to
almost lost their whole offensive staff. And they didn't move one. They moved up.
And so
you know why? That's because that other one came back.
Yeah.
Oh, they were going. I don't know if they were going to make it without him.
That's what I'm telling you. That's why, because Charlie Weiss came back. If he wouldn't have came, I don't think they make it.
But what this sets up is
expansion.
They're going to expand it. Like that's what this is happening for. Is it creates the conversation on, well, if it was 16 or 18 or 24 or 32,
we could figure this out on the field.
Look at all these teams that would have got in. You'd have your Texas. You'd have your
Vanderbilt,
your Notre Dame, your Vanderbilt. Like that's what it starts, and that's what's going to lead into next year, or the year after. They'll just do what they did in 23-24.
Because they left out the perfect team.
Right.
Notre Dame is going to go street. They're going to write emails and letters and talk to Jesus.
Well, what happened either if you leave out Notre Dame or you leave out Alabama? The only thing with Alabama is they looked awful yesterday.
But you can't punish them for playing in a championship
that's
game.
What I'm saying. That's the other
but you can punish BYU for doing it.
That I wanted to ask everyone's thoughts on is what do you do with conference championship games at this point? Because now,
first of all, the conferences are too big, and you had two conferences where there was like a 5-team tiebreaker.
Right.
And the wrong teams won all the tiebreakers.
Right. But then you look at like the SEC championship game, like Alabama looked awful, but if you take that into account, you're discrediting them for playing an extra game.
Yeah.
Correct.
But
whereas Ole Miss, Oklahoma,
right.
they can't get hurt. Texas A&M.
But then if you say, well now Alabama doesn't even drop after looking that bad, which means does the game even matter, right? What does it do for you unless you win?
Well, no, it does because what they looked at, now you look at the criteria that comes off of that, and that's what they looked at. They looked at a 10-3 Alabama compared to these other teams. Now you look at strength of schedule, look at all that. But, bro, if you play in the SEC and you go through that gauntlet, your strength of schedule is going to match up unbelievably more than anybody else. And then you look at it and say, okay, do I think that this team – I mean, I think, honestly, it was a hard – it's going to go down as a historic leave out. And I think for the teams that got left out with the Texas, with the Vanderbilts, with the Notre Dame. But on the other flip side of it, I mean, listen, they got it 98% right. You know, they got it close to right as you can close to get it.
The other thing that I'll add to that is the playoff now has discredited bowl games because if you don't get in the playoff,
nobody wants to go to no bowl game.
Everybody opts out.
Right. I agree.
Gift bag ain't good enough.
That's all right.
Especially with the NIL money they're getting now.
Yes.
It just
what does this game matter, right? We had a goal of getting in the playoff. So like you look at LSU, what does the Texas Bowl really matter, right? That wasn't your goal. You didn't want to play in the Texas Bowl.
It matters if you're a coach and you want to see what you got.
Right.
You want to play all the young kids.
Yeah, you want to see what you got. But
they're depth games.
It's
I'm gonna watch.
And
we
said it don't matter, but it matters to the guys that's on them teams.
Yes.
It matters to those seniors that won another play that's never been to a bowl game, so on and so forth. In the grand scheme of things, the national championship, everybody's goal every year ain't to win a national championship. It's to get to a bowl game. You know what I mean? So for the upper echelon teams that are in the hunt, and it's not a lot.
Right.
No, we got 10 million bowl games now.
Yeah,
you know
the Cheez-It Bowl, you got the pop.
You got everything, and that's because they're in demand because more teams want to go. They want to extend, and now with NIL and all this, they want more money. It's more money.
Yeah.
There used to be a PlayStation and a bowl of Funyuns.
Well, it used to be like that was your goal to get to the Sugar Bowl, to get to this huge
Well, because
bowl
it meant you
game.
were trending this way. Like that's
Right,
a huge
correct.
game to get it.
Correct,
Because the way I
correct.
was, like, we were sold a bill of goods, but
And
like,
it still
Fiesta Bowl,
means
Sugar
that,
Bowl,
but once you
Orange
throw
Bowl.
the playoff into it, now your goal is to get to the playoffs to win a championship. So that's secondary.
Now you're playing the
now.
NIT.
You
And,
know what I
and this
mean?
all plays into expanding the playoff. It all plays into expanding it.
I don't know if you can ever do this in football, but they do it in basketball, and now the NBA does it where they have the
in-season
in-season
tournament?
cup.
Right.
And the only thing I would say is, after week 3 of the college football season, you leave an open date for everybody in week 8,
I wouldn't do it.
and you have an ACC, Big Ten,
Matchup.
Like a
SEC. You have a challenge where team 1 plays team
The
1.
only way you'll be on board with that is you cutting out other games. Those are included in your
Absolutely.
season game.
Absolutely.
We're
now-
overcomplicating this.
One game.
Well, no, when you start adding games, now you start talking about kids' bodies. That's the only thing for me. I don't want no more wear and tear on my body.
You cut out one.
It's good for the
non-conference game,
fans.
And right in the middle of the conference
You
season,
know?
you play that game. Everybody has week 8 empty until.
And what does that do?
Well, I mean, you take team 1 from the SEC and they play team 1 from the ACC or Big Ten. Take team 2 plays team 2, so you get these teams that don't have great schedules. Now you can add a game that.
Well,
you
that's
say,
what week 1 was supposed to be.
Well, and see, and that's what I'm saying.
Kickoff.
But they set their own schedules. This is something that the NCAA. We can put that selection committee to work.
And I hear that. And my thing is, for the Big Ten, it's good for them, right? Because
Why does
they
the
don't-
SEC need to add another
but
hard
for
game?
the SEC,
They
it's
don't.
like this would be like we play a
They
tough
don't.
enough schedule already, right?
And that's where they're coming to a head. It's like,
Right.
we're fine.
Yeah.
You go play Purdue,
Right.
But if you ask some,
and that's why Alabama gets in.
but if you ask some coaches, they would say this particular team that is near Schmoxford, Mississippi, they didn't play a very good SEC schedule.
right. No, not at all.
I mean,
No, neither did Texas
But
A&M.
you get
Texas
the-
A&M
they,
did.
they played at Georgia and they played Oklahoma at home, and that was
Right.
it.
No, I mean
Those are
Texas
two
A&M didn't
big
have
wins.
a tough SEC
Yeah.
schedule.
Well, they won one.
well, that's what I'm
They
saying,
won
but
one
those are
of
two
them.
games that
Yeah,
people
yeah,
saw, and
but
you played
it's-
fine.
They didn't play.
You in
They didn't
SEC.
play Alabama. They didn't play
Right.
Tennessee.
Well, that's
You're in
them's
SEC.
the break.
Well, and that's what I'll say.
play Vandy.
Like my Texas will be my
Just
my-
like you pointed out
Texas.
with Arkansas.
right.
They
Texas-
owe them whatever, but when you go in there to play them, it's not a cakewalk.
Yeah.
You can't just say I'm going in and it's a win. It's every week. That's the mantra in the SEC.
Because like Texas would be my point, where it's like, even though they lost to an Oklahoma and they lost to, or they didn't lose
Ohio
to Oklahoma, they lost
State.
to Florida, and who else did they lose to?
Ohio State.
Ohio State.
No, they have three.
Texas?
They have 3 losses, don't they?
Yeah.
They have a third one. Who was it?
Ohio State, Florida.
and there's one more.
That might be it.
I think they have 2.
No, they're 9-3
Yeah, because they beat A&M.
because they beat A&M, they beat Oklahoma,
They lost to Florida.
they lost to Florida, and then they lost.
That's
to,
right.
26-7.
That's right.
I remember that.
That's right.
Yeah, Texas
Georgia.
is. Yes, yeah. They lost to Georgia. And so look, the Florida game's one they're going to get knocked for. If they don't schedule Ohio State, they get in. So why schedule a tough out-of-conference opponent? Because if they're 10-2 and they schedule whoever week 1, and if it's
Kennesaw
not
State.
right, and they win
Yeah,
that, they're 10-2.
it doesn't matter.
With a win over Oklahoma and a win over A&M, they get in.
That's what's going to start happening.
Right.
Now. You're not going to get these good non-conference games.
Right?
Yeah, you Kim Mulkey the damn thing.
Yeah.
She's
Seriously,
smart.
Kim Mulkey it. I'm telling you.
And that's what sucks for the sport.
Because guess what? People that don't know very much, they look at that ticker and they see LSU won 113 to 62.
Right.
They don't care who you played.
They're a juggernaut.
When my first year as a head coach, we played a team called Rust College, and
Right.
we won 120 to 41.
Well, especially if you start in the original AP poll as number 5, well, we're just going to coast, stay at 5 until we get an SEC play, and then we lose one SEC game, we stay in the top 6.
And that's
You know?
why I've always been of the contention to get rid of the AP poll, like the preseason polls, because it does form a narrative that shouldn't exist. Who was number 1 in the poll?
Well-
Clemson was up there.
Yeah, but getting rid of it does nothing. You just gotta know it doesn't matter. All
they-
it does
it
is
does-
give you a barometer at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, but
because
people
this
that
is
don't
the
pay
thing.
attention look at it.
Well, clearly they do. If I like, for example, if I end the season number 1 and I got everybody returning, I want to start the season number 1.
Of course.
You understand what I'm saying? No matter where I'm at. So I want that preseason poll if that gives me an upstart on everybody else. You only don't want it if you ain't going to never be in contention. If I'm going to be in contention, I want it every time.
Yeah. No, it's a jump start.
Bro, I think you'll agree with this. In college football and pro football, you play 12 or 16 or 17 weeks. You're always going to have one or two nights where you lay an egg.
Right.
And you just hope you win that day. Where you don't play very well. You turn the ball over. Your quarterback's just not like Alabama yesterday.
Correct.
And you just hope to win those games. And that's why they don't want to play a great schedule because it's a gauntlet.
Correct. Right. And you already go through one.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, if LSU
So
lays
that's why
that
they're
egg,
going to do the in-season playoff. Like, they're having those conversations of the Big 10 or the Big 12 needs to play an ACC opponent every year. Like, I'll see y'all in the playoff.
Right.
Like, y'all can go play your Purdue's, go play. It used to be Indiana, now everybody's scared of Indiana. You just saw Ohio State lose, 13-10? And it's like Ohio State had not played anybody all year except what was their hat? They beat Texas week 1.
they beat Michigan.
I want to throw this out to you. In the last 6 years, since 2000, there's been 6 SEC championship games. How many teams from the SEC have played in those 6 games? So 12 teams have played in them. How many teams have actually played in them? How many universities?
3 or 4.
5.
Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan.
Georgia's played 5.
Georgia, Alabama.
Alabama's played 4.
Yep.
And then 3 teams have played 1 each. Texas,
Ohio State.
LSU 1. No.
Talking about SEC only.
SEC conference.
Oh.
Texas
played in 1.
LSU's played in 1. And there's somebody else that's played in
Florida
1.
played in 1.
Florida played in 1.
Florida played it in 2020.
So
Let's really talk about the SEC. Like, there's a hierarchy here.
No, there is, but it's still a
As
much
it should be.
deeper conference.
There's
than the
no
rest
doubt
of
about it
Right.
because you're always trying to keep up
Right,
with
because
the
there's a hierarchy, but they're not top heavy, right? Like the Big Ten.
No, and
top heavy.
especially now when you look at Vanderbilt's so much better.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I talk about the SEC the way I do, because it's no. We just talked about Arkansas. There's no gimmies.
Right.
From top to bottom, it is the toughest conference in America. It's not like Ohio State, where you have Ohio State, Indiana, and there's a drop-off. You may have Michigan, and there's a drop-off. I mean, on both sides, week in and week out, if you don't come to play, you get your behind whooped.
Think about this. I mean, you take away like the Tennessees and the Missouris and the Oklahomas who can beat you at their place anytime. You look at the South Carolinas, the Arkansas, and the Florida, right? They can beat you too.
Yeah. 100%.
No,
Well,
all
Caleb
of them.
Downs said it.
Missouri. I mean, all of them. You come in and not having. If you come in thinking you're just coming in and beat, it's not gonna happen.
NFL guys.
Yeah, it's not gonna
100%.
happen.
Caleb Downs said it the other day. He was talking about the Big Ten, the SEC. He said, in the SEC, every week it's dudes. He's like, it's not like that in the Big Ten. When you run into Purdue, it's not. I'm not facing NFL wide receiver.
No, I mean that's 100% correct. I mean, you cannot go look at an SEC schedule and say, you know what, we're at Vanderbilt, that's a win. We're at Arkansas, that's a win. Whereas in other conferences, you can say that. You cannot say that in the SEC every week, week in and week out.
Yes.
If you don't come with your boots and your lunch pail, you're getting your behind thrown
Sylvester
out the
Cruz
door.
can take your lunch.
That's right. That's right.
But we appreciate
That's
everybody
right.
getting in here with us as we are live from Pizza Byron's here in Willow Grove, right off Perkins Road. We appreciate everybody joining us. Big Lou, thank you for hopping on the mic.
You got it, baby.
We appreciate
The
you,
Looster, baby.
Ro, as always, we appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
Making your way over. We'll be back tomorrow morning live from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on Tingle Co. Make sure you like, subscribe.
Before we get out of here, we here at Tingle Co. would like to send a heartfelt, message to the great Kevin Falk and his family. Sorry for the devastating loss over the last couple of days, and we want to say, Kev, we with you, bro.
Yes, sir.
100%. No,
Always.
nothing but love for Kev.
He's been here for us. We always here for him.
100%. 100%. Prayers and love to Kevin Falk and his family as they go through this. But, Ro, we appreciate you.
Always,
we'll
my
talk to
brother.
you again soon. And we'll be back tomorrow morning, 7 to 9 a.m.
Wrap it up.